Okay, so one of the questions I get asked a lot about social media marketing agency, a digital marketing agency, is should you offer a free service? Should you offer anything for free? Now, although we don't recommend it ever, and we haven't really, although there are a couple of instances where we have, here's one thing that I recommend all social media marketing agencies offer for free, and that is some sort of strategy call. The reason why is because it's an amazing value add to the client, as opposed to just jumping on to speak about hiring you as a service. For example, I could say, yeah, book a call with me so I can tell you all about my services. You're going to get people that want to do that, the really hot people. But to get in more people, because remember, when they're on the phone, that's the best place to actually, sell your services. To increase the amount of people that actually want to speak to you, you can package a free call in a way where the call is valuable without your services anyway. So for example, one of the ones that we've done is a sales funnel discovery call, or a funnel game plan call, or a Facebook ad strategy call. And on these, what we do is we say to the people, look, you book a Facebook ad strategy call, for example, and on that call, we'll take a look at your ads. We'll give you a load of advice on what you could do better. Now, at the end of that call, we'll tell you about how we can do it for you, and we'll tell you about our services. But if you don't hire us, at least you've got the knowledge from the call. At least you've got the strategy, you see? So it's a really, really good value add. It's attractive for marketing. It's attractive to get people on. It adds value to the client, whether they buy or they don't buy. More importantly, it's just a great way to get them on a call. So the question then becomes, okay, what do I have to do on these calls? What's a really good strategy to follow on these calls? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to miraculously change my hair and my outfit, because I've already done this part of the video, but I'm going to jump on my massively oversized whiteboard or flip chart, and I'm going to show you exactly what you can do on these free strategy calls to increase the amount of clients that you close from the clients that you speak to. Let's jump on now.
Okay guys, so I'm on my massively oversized flip chart here, and I'm going to walk you through now what needs to happen on that strategy call, because under one of the services to offer, obviously, these free strategy calls, as I've said, is going to be a big weapon in your arsenal for two reasons. Firstly, it's an amazing thing to offer to people to get them on a call. If you can talk people through this process that I'm about to show you, they're going to get a lot of value from it, because they're going to start thinking about their business in a different way as well. So it's a really good hook and a way to get them on the phone. Then, when they're on the phone, it's a really, really good way for you to have a clear understanding of where you could fit in. What we're effectively going to try to do is map out what their business looks like now, so that you can identify where you can help. And then it enables you to also price very, very accurately, because you're not taking anything to chance. For example, if you were to just talk to a client, they decided that they wanted to work with you, and you said, yeah, that's going to be £2,000 a month for a retainer, then you figure out there's actually lots more work involved to make it work. You've underpriced yourself. And that is the difference between having a profitable and non-profitable agency. And it's a mistake that I've done many, many times in my early days as well. All right. So it works really, really both ways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to visually draw out here what we're trying to achieve. Now, obviously, you won't have a whiteboard, a flip chart, and you're not going to be presenting in this way. I'm doing it to teach you. What you will have, though, is a pad in front of you, and you almost want to draw this out. I'm actually going to take off my jacket because it's getting a little bit warm in the studio. So let me just strip off for you. So what we're effectively trying to do, okay, is draw out, first of all, their model. So a business model, all right, is where their audience are. So their audience are over here. And then over here is where their sale is made, right? Whatever business they're in, whatever service they provide. What you're trying to figure out right now, before they work with you, is how they achieve this, okay? How they connect these two things, all right? Now, for example, you might open this call up and you've got to now ask some questions, okay? So some of the really good questions to ask are, and I won't write these down, it'll take too long, but how right now are you generating leads? Okay, how are you generating leads? How are you turning these people into a lead here, or a prospect, right? How are you getting them to become a lead? Another thing is, what does a lead mean to your business? Is that a phone call? What happens after they become a lead, right? That's what we're going to do in a minute. So what they might say to you, for example, is you say, yeah, literally right now, and this is very, very common, by the way. Right now, most of our business is referral based, right? Referral based. I probably spelled that wrong. That's my dyslexia. I do apologize. It's referral based. So yeah, at the moment, our clients refer other people to us. Okay, great. So they've told you right now how they get leads. Then what you've got to understand is what happens next. So you've got to ask the question, okay, then what happens? Are they just sent to a website to buy? Are they getting on a phone call with you and your team? Yes, they're getting on a phone call. Okay, great. So you draw it's a terrible looking phone, but you get the idea. Yeah, that's the phone, right? They get them on the phone, okay? And then from the phone, you close them. Yes, close them into a sale. Yes, that's right. Okay, cool. So we've already got a bit of an understanding here of this person's business model at the moment. What they're looking for is to generate leads so that they can get people on a phone call so that they can make the sale, okay? This is someone that isn't running ads at the moment. And we'll do another little variation in a minute with people that are running ads. So now you've got to dive a little bit deeper and ask for some numbers now. So a really good one to understand is, okay, how much is an average client worth to you or an average sale worth? And they might say, oh, that's £2,000. Okay, cool, £2,000. Then you might work backwards from that and you might say, okay, how many people do you have to speak to here at this point to get a £2,000 sale? And they might say, well, we close around sort of 20% on the phone. 20%. Okay, so you're closing 20%. So we need 5 leads on the phone to get one £2,000 sale. Okay, cool. And they're obviously at the moment, they're just generating referrals to get them these leads. Now what you can do is you can ask another really, really good question, because this, especially if you're going to be running paid ads for clients, you're going to want to know this. How much are you able to pay for a £2,000 client? Like, what's your target, what's called CPA, cost per acquisition, all right? Cost per sale. We call it CPA, cost per acquisition. What's your target cost per acquisition? Like, what do you want to spend or what are you willing, is a better question. What are you willing to spend to get a £2,000 sale? Okay, and they might say, well, we're happy to spend £500 to get a £2,000 sale, spend £500, make £2,000. They have other things that they can sell. Their lifetime value is the next question you want to ask. LTV. Your lifetime value. What's the lifetime value of a client? If they know this number, it's very, very powerful for you. Lots of people don't know it. Everyone should know it, but lots of people don't know it. But just you asking the question, and this is one thing to remember when you're asking all these questions, you're immediately becoming an authority in their mind, because you're asking them questions that they might not even know themselves, which means they're going to feel not stupid, but they're going to feel like, oh, this guy's or this gal's smarter than me. So by asking these questions, it's a really, really good way to position yourself. But let's say this person does know it and he says, well, our lifetime value is actually £5,000, right? Okay, cool. So they're willing to spend £500 to get the first initial £2,000 sale. You now know that their lifetime value is 500, which means there's probably some leeway in this anyway. Could even spend a bit more because lifetime value is higher. All right, you can then sort of figure out a strategy and start rolling them out some numbers, right? So what we're going to do now we've got an understanding of what this person does at the moment, right? They're mainly using referrals or people, let's say inbound anyway, coming to them. They're closing 20% of them on the phone into a £2,000 thing. We can now map out a new scenario. Now what we've done is, this is where they are now, right? What we're about to show them is where they can be. So you could now talk to them about some targets. Okay, so, and this is what you do for targets, right? Targets next. Once you've figured out where they are, you now want to ask them about some targets. So you've got to find out some numbers. Like on average, here's a good question to ask. So on average, how many clients are you closing a month? And they might say 10, right? At the moment, they're doing 10, which is giving them 20 grand. in revenue, okay? Okay, where do you want to be? Like, you know, if in an ideal situation, in 6 months, where would you want this to be? And they're going to say, well, you know, we want at least 20 sales. So we want to be making at least 40K a month. Sorry about my writing, it's really hard to do this at the moment. All right, they might say that. So now you've now got a target. So when you come to draw out a plan for them, which is where you fit in, right? Because what we've identified here is a couple of problems. Problem number one is it's only based on referrals. What's the problem with referrals? They're not consistent. It's not measurable. You literally could, 1 month could have 10 referrals, the next month you could have 2. It's very, very unstable. You can't really control it. You can't scale it. How can you scale referrals? You know, I mean, you could do a little campaign to drive more, but you can't really scale it. What they need is a paid marketing strategy that feeds the phone. All right, so they're the problems that you've identified, and you'll tell them this along the way. And don't forget, please don't let this overwhelm you, because on our coaching calls every week with you, we will be going through this stuff with you. You can bring, okay, I've got a free strategy call coming up in a couple of days. Give me some tips and advice. We'll walk you through this stuff. Okay, so just take a mental picture of that, where they are right now. Yeah. So now what we're going to do is we're going to basically draw them out a new plan. All right. Good. Okay. So what we're going to now say is, okay, right. What we want to do is we actually want to use Facebook ads, all right, or YouTube ads, whatever, TikTok ads, whatever it is we're running, to drive people to that initial banana or phone, right? It's a phone call. We want to drive people deliberately now to it. Okay, so we're now going to drive them to a landing page. You can have a landing page in there. This is where you could sell a landing page as well, because this becomes part of the solution. All right, we're going to drive traffic to a landing page to get you phone calls to make a sale. All right, now how we're going to do this is we're going to work backwards this time. All right, so their goal was 40K a month. Yeah. 40K a month. Now, if you remember, they were closing 20% of people on the phone, all right? But they were referrals. So referrals are always going to close a little bit higher. So what I like to do, and what my team do when they're on the phone, is we like to give worst case scenarios. Because if a worst case scenario still gets them the result, then they're way more likely to do it, because you can actually say worst case scenario. So let's change the numbers this time and say that we're only actually going to close 10% on the phone. All right, so to get £40,000, remember every sale is £2,000. All right, we need to get 20 sales. So we need to get 20 sales. If we're closing at 10%, we need to get 200 calls booked. All right, we need to get 200 leads so that we can make that money. 200 leads, okay? Now let's say that we're gonna spend money on Facebook, and their budget, you can ask them what their budget is, and you can say, you know, how much are you willing to spend in marketing, all right? They might say £5,000. Let's just say that their marketing budget that they're willing to spend is £5,000 a month. Then to get 200 calls, you've got to be getting a phone call booked at, what is that? That's going to be £50, £25. Yeah, £25, £25 or dollars, wherever you are, right? Our target to get them a lead is £25. All right, easily achievable from Facebook ads. So now what you've done is you've worked backwards, and you can say, look, based on that budget, we would need to get you 200 calls booked at £25. Even if you just close at 10%, not your original 20, then you're going to make your 40 grand. You're going to hit your target. All right. And then what you want to do, once you've like laid that out, is you want to give them a few different variations of it. You know, you could say, right, okay, well, there's a good chance that we might not be able to get you a good qualified lead for £20. So let's say for instance, it is £50. All right. But you end up closing at your original 20%. you're still gonna make the 20 sales that you need at £2,000 to get your target. You know, which means, or then what you can say is, right, so we're spending 5, we're making 40. So then what you can do the next month is you can increase the budget so we can actually overtake that £40,000. And then you ask, this is a great question to ask, by the way. Look, you know, if you were to spend £5,000 and make 40, what would you do the next month? And let them answer that question. And they'll say, well, I'd probably spend 10 to make 80. Say exactly. And that's the goal. That's our goal. Our goal is to get something that works for you so that you can scale up. Because the more money you spend, the more money you make, the more money we make. This is a partnership. This is a partnership where we work together, you know, and literally based on what you've got at the moment, Mr. Client, you know, you've got it all in place. You're just missing this piece. This is the missing piece for you. And this is where you introduce your solution. This is the missing piece. If you get this right and you can control this with the money you're spending and not just rely on referrals and people finding you or inquiring, but we've actually got control over it, we can then hit whatever target you want to hit. You know, and then what we'll do is we'll tweak it along the way. We'll start very, very small in the spend. We'll make sure that this is a very, very controlled amount until we know the numbers all the way across, until we know what our cost per acquisition is from ads, until we know what our conversion on the phone is from ads. Then what we can do is we can scale up. What we won't do, Mr. Client, is take £5,000 of your hard-earned marketing dollars or pounds and just spunk it, you know, and just waste it. We're going to be very, very careful and look after this like it's your money. So we're going to start very, very small until we know what these numbers are. Then we'll come back to you and we'll say, look, based on the test that we've done, the first 1,000, 2,000 that we've spent, we think we can get you a sale for £500. Would you like us to scale this up? That's how we work. This is how we work. And then you'd be having this conversation with them, right? I went into character a bit there, but you get the idea. So this strategy call becomes a very, very interesting call for them. Very, very powerful for you because it's going to really make you look professional, like you know what you're doing. And it's more importantly, it's going to identify your solution to their problem. So when you then say, look, we will do this for you. We can do this for you for, you know, £1,000 a month, £2,000 a month, whatever you believe that this account's going to be worth. It will vary from client to client, obviously. Again, starting out, or I recommend you do, is just get some clients under your belt. You know, even if you just get them on board for £1,000 to £2,000 in that range, nothing less than 1,000 though. Get some clients under your belt, and then as your confidence grows and as your momentum grows, you'll be more confident to charge more as you go because you'll be more confident in your ability to get the result, you know? So this is a really, really good thing to do when you're on the phone to them, the fact-finding questions, right? They're getting advice because you're effectively giving them a strategy. The way you sell the free strategy call is by saying, look, you know, if you don't work with us, you're gonna have this plan so you can take it and do it yourself. You know, that's the risk that you're gonna take. And that's a reason why they would get on a phone call with you because it's a win-win. You know, if they like what you hear, they've got an agency that's going to do the work for them. If they don't, you've helped them come up with a plan or at least showed them the possibility and the potential of what paid ads could do for their business.
Okay, amazing. So I'm back. My hair's changed again. I'm in a different outfit. So I really hope you found that useful. Okay, so for social media marketing agencies, digital marketing agencies, SMMAs, whatever you want to call them, it's a really good strategy. We have literally built our business over the last 5 years by offering these calls on the front end. It's a fantastic, attractive way to get a potential client on the phone, and it's a really good way to convert that potential client into a paying client. That's it for this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure you leave me a comment with any questions about the free strategy call in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And if you hit that bell, you'll be notified every single time we release new videos. We release 2 new videos every single week on digital marketing and social media marketing and all that good stuff. My name's Matt Wilson. I'll see you in the next one.